Walk down the butter aisle and you'll see words like natural, pure, and premium. Most of it is marketing nonsense designed to separate you from your money. Some of what you're buying isn't even legally butter. Federal law says butter must be at least 80% butterfat. Some products on your shelf barely qualify, and others don't qualify at all. The rest is water, fillers, and ingredients you can't pronounce. So let's rank 8 butter brands from worst to best and expose which ones are actually worth your money. Because you deserve to know if that $7 Irish import is really better than the $4 farmer-owned brand sitting right next to it. Smash that subscribe button because we're about to save you from some seriously disappointing dairy. Number 8, Imperial Vegetable Oil Spread. Imperial has been on grocery store shelves since the mid-1800s. Today, it's owned by Upfield and marketed as butter despite not legally qualifying. The formula changed from 67% to 53% fat content. What you're actually getting is vegetable oil, water, pea protein, calcium, disodium, EDTA, citric acid, and preservatives. Greasy spread that feels more like solidified cooking oil than dairy, slightly salty with virtually no butter flavor, bland, oily, artificial. It completely fails in baking. Cookies won't harden, dough becomes soupy. At 53% fat, this legally cannot be called butter or even margarine, which requires 80%. Priced around $3 to $4 per pound. Bakers report ruined batches. Cookies that used to work now spread out and never harden. The increased water content is why your grandmother's cookie recipes suddenly stop working. Imperial exists because it's the absolute cheapest option on the shelf. The company reduced fat content to boost profits while selling the removed cream elsewhere while charging you the same price. You're paying $4 a pound for Spreadable. Cooking oil with a butter fantasy. When your baked goods fail, it's probably not you. It's the fact that you're trying to bake with chemistry, not dairy. Number 7, Kroger Spreadable. Butter with olive oil. Kroger launched this store brand spreadable butter to compete with premium brands while keeping costs low. The moment you peel back the lid, you see unappetizing, pasty pale color, calcified block with olive oil and sea salt mixed in. Texture remarkably similar to margarine, lacking any creaminess. Taste, virtually no depth of flavor. Flat, one-dimensional, barely recognizable as butter. Priced at $4.79 per tub, comparable to actual butter that tastes significantly better. The color is described as off-white stained. Reviews consistently note the margarine-like texture, fine for sautéing vegetables, but shouldn't be the highlight of any meal. Store brands like Kroger create these hybrid products to capture shoppers who want butter but won't pay premium prices. The olive oil edition lets them market it as healthier while cutting costs. At $4.79, you're essentially paying for yellow-colored disappointment in a tub. Number 6, Lucerne Safeway store brand. The name Lucerne alludes to Swiss Alps and brown cows with bells, evoking images of European quality. In reality, it's made by Safeway in Pleasanton, California. Despite claiming European-style status with 82% butterfat, something goes very wrong. European-style butter that somehow tastes like candy. The texture is smooth initially. Taste? Pleasant sweet cream flavor at first, then a chalky tanginess kicks in. The real problem? The aftertaste tastes exactly like Sweetheart's candy, priced around $5 per pound. Multiple tasters independently describe the aftertaste as dead ringer for Sweethearts. Despite the higher butterfat content, it feels light in the luxury department. Safeway markets this as European style to justify the premium price while manufacturing it domestically with cost-saving shortcuts. When your butter's aftertaste reminds multiple people of childhood candy, that's a fundamental quality control failure. If this is already saving you some money at the grocery store, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. Number 5, Organic Valley. Organic Valley positioned itself as the premium organic option. Priced between $7 and $11 per pound, it commands top dollar for its clean credentials. The question is whether the organic label translates to actual butter flavor. Organic sweet cream and lactic acid. Nothing artificial. Texture is ultra creamy, exceptionally smooth, almost waxy in its uniformity, but the taste is muted, neutral fat flavor with minimal character, like butter-flavored air. At $11 per pound, this is one of the priciest options on shelves. Tasters describe it as fairly unremarkable, with neutral fat taste. The ultra creaminess is impressive, but creaminess without flavor is expensive fat. Organic Valley is banking entirely on the organic label to justify premium pricing, while the actual eating experience is forgettable. You're paying $11 per pound for butter that barely registers when it reaches your taste buds. Number 4, Challenge Butter. Challenge has been farmer-owned since 1911, marketing itself as an affordable, all-American butter option. At $4 to $5 per pound, it's the cheapest actual butter on most shelves. But recent quality control issues have turned what used to be reliable into a complete gamble. Pasteurized cream and natural flavoring, clean ingredient list. But the texture is weird, too greasy, not great at room temperature. Taste is light on sweet dairy notes, heavy on savoriness with a cheese-like tang. Some batches reported as completely rancid, others as rock hard even when labeled spreadable. Priced at under $5 per pound at Walmart, making it the budget winner for real. Butter. Reviews are wildly inconsistent. Some say best butter on the market. Others report having to throw out rancid sticks. One customer with severe soy allergy had reactions twice, saying somehow the product is being contaminated with soy. The spreadable version is rock hard in the fridge despite marketing claims. Challenge survives by being the cheapest real butter option. The farmer-owned label gives it credibility, but inconsistent quality suggests production issues they're not addressing. At $4 per pound, you're essentially playing Russian roulette with your butter dish. Will you get the pale, creamy winner or the rancid loser? When you have to wonder if today's stick will ruin your cookies or trigger an allergic reaction, affordable starts looking expensive. Number 3, Land O'Lakes. With $19 billion in sales as of 2022, Land O'Lakes is America's most popular butter brand by a massive margin. This Minnesota-based farmer cooperative has been around since 1921 and basically set the standard for American butter. That doesn't mean it's actually good, it means it's everywhere. 80% butterfat, sweet cream, salt, natural flavoring. The texture? Dense creaminess with no greasy mouthfeel. The texture is solid, but the taste is aggressively one-dimensional. Sweet followed by salty, with no umami, tang, or complexity. Recent issues include increased water content causing cookies to spread oddly and butter to splutter excessively when melted. Priced around $5 to $6 per pound, about 36 cents per ounce. Reddit users call it throat oil and question why it's so popular. Multiple bakers report recent formula changes. More sputtering in the pan, cookies crumble, muffin stick. Amazon reviewers note an unnatural, rubbery aftertaste. Some report butter tasting rancid right out of the fridge in recent months. Land O'Lakes dominates through sheer ubiquity and brand recognition. It's the butter your parents bought, so you buy it too. Recent suspected formula changes have degraded quality, but the brand loyalty is so strong that most customers blame themselves when recipes fail. When the best thing about America's top-selling butter is that you can find it everywhere, that's not a flex. That's distribution. You're paying $6 per pound for one-dimensional sweetness that Reddit dubbed throat oil, wrapped in packaging your grandmother would recognize but wouldn't approve of anymore. And if you're finding this ranking useful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel cut through the noise. Number 2, Tillamook Extra Creamy. Tillamook is primarily known for its exceptional cheese, but this Oregon-based dairy cooperative has been quietly making outstanding butter for years. The extra creamy label with 81% butterfat sounds like marketing hype until you actually taste it. At $6.50 to $7.89 per pound, it's expensive, but delivers a full 16 ounces. Cream, sea salt, and 81% butterfat, higher than American standard. The texture is genuinely extra creamy with a rich, velvety mouthfeel that stands out immediately. Taste? Complex and savory with umami notes alongside natural sweetness. Almost caramelly. Minor flaw? A subtle candy-like tang at the very end, though most people won't notice. Priced at $6.50 for a full pound, making it more economical than some 8-ounce premium options. Consistently rated 4.8 stars on Walmart. Tasters describe surprisingly rich and almost caramelly flavor, and complex savory profile. The 81% butterfat delivers noticeable improvement over standard 80% options. Tillamook leveraged its reputation for quality cheese to enter the butter market with a genuinely superior product. The slightly higher butterfat content costs more to produce but creates noticeable quality improvements that justify the premium price. At $6.50 for a full pound, you're getting butter that actually delivers on its extra creamy promise, with complexity most American butters can't touch. When the worst thing about your butter is a barely noticeable tang at the end, you've created something worth paying for. Number 1. Kerrygold Pure Irish Butter. Since arriving in the United States in 1999, Kerrygold has become the butter that converts people into butter snobs. This Irish import commands premium prices, $5.99 for 8 ounces, nearly double what you pay for American brands. The question everyone asks is whether that famous gold foil wrapper contains butter worth the premium or premium marketing. Cream from grass-fed Irish cows, resulting in 82% butterfat and that distinctive yellow color. The texture is exceptionally rich and creamy, soft and spreadable even straight from the fridge. Taste? Earthy, grassy notes from the grass-fed diet with sweet cream, salt, and a sharp savoriness. All the flavors with the volume turned up. The color is brilliantly yellow, almost neon, from carotene and grass. It looks fake, but that's actually proof of quality, priced at 50 cents to 97 cents per ounce compared to Land O'Lakes 36 cents. European standard 82% butterfat versus American 80% creates noticeably creamier texture. Multiple taste tests rank it number 1. Unbelievably rich, so flavorful you could eat it on its own. But here's where it gets tricky. 2024 class action lawsuit claims cows fed soy and corn, not 100% grass-fed. Packaging contains PFAS chemicals. New, reduced fat version quietly released at same price. Kerrygold succeeds by marketing Irish origin and grass-fed purity, commanding premium prices through perceived European superiority. The grass-fed claim creates that distinctive yellow color which photographs beautifully. Recent lawsuits over misleading grass-fed claims and a stealth reduced fat version threaten the brand's credibility, but loyal customers defend it fiercely. Bottom line? At $6 for 8 ounces, you're paying serious money for butter that actually tastes like something beyond generic dairy fat. The grass-fed cows and Irish standards deliver complexity and richness that make American butters taste one-dimensional by comparison. Assuming the grass-fed claims hold up in court, the difference between the worst and best butter on this list is about $3 per pound. But the difference in what you're actually getting, light years. At the bottom, Imperial isn't even butter. It's a vegetable oil cosplaying as dairy, ruining your cookies while you blame your oven. At the top, Kerrygold delivers grass-fed Irish complexity that makes toast feel like a special occasion, assuming you're willing to pay double and trust their marketing claims. Here's what matters. Check the ingredient list before the marketing claims. Remember that 80% butterfat is the legal minimum for a reason, and understand that price doesn't always equal quality. Organic Valley costs $11 but tastes like expensive nothing. Tillamook costs $6.50 and delivers complexity that rivals imports. The sweet spot for most people is probably Tillamook or Challenge when it's fresh. Hit subscribe if this changed how you'll buy butter, and drop a comment telling us which brand you swear by. Bonus points if you've had Imperial ruin a batch of cookies and thought it was your fault.